Pokefans, Michael here. As you may have guessed by the title of this video, today's top 5 is a collab with my good fellow Pokemon YouTuber friend TrueGreen7. Over the years of Ron and I being friends, we've discovered that our taste in Pokemon is very similar.
I mean, we share the same favorite Pokemon, Sceptile, and a few months back we both made top Pokemon of every type videos where we discussed our favorite Pokemon of every type, and about 1/3 of our lists lined up exactly, and most of the ones that didn't align were still Pokemon that both of us really like.
A little while ago on one of my Twitch streams, which you should follow me on by the way, twitch.tv/MNJTV, we started musing about the fact that our taste in Pokemon is so similar and wondering, were there any Pokemon that one of us liked that the other didn't? So it wasn't long before we decided to make some videos about it.
So in this video, we'll be going over the top 5 Pokemon that Michael hates that I don't hate, and we'll take turns bashing or defending each of these Pokemon. We have the opposite video over on my channel where I discuss 5 Pokemon that I hate that Michael doesn't.
It was actually quite a challenge to find 10 Pokemon that we disagreed on, so keep in mind that while one of us may hate some of these Pokemon, the other one doesn't necessarily adore them. They may just be like, I think it's fine.
But regardless, we thought these videos would be a fun way to show that disagreeing on Pokemon can remain a lighthearted and fun debate, so don't take these videos too seriously.
So be sure to leave a like on the video, comment below some of your predictions for Pokemon we disagree on, and subscribe to both of our channels if you haven't already. And without further ado, here are the top 5 Pokemon that I hate, that TrueGreen7 likes. Number 5. Empoleon. This is probably one of the most controversial Pokemon that I hate, which is made very apparent by the like-dislike ratio in my top 5 worst starter Pokemon video. But regardless, I think Empoleon is one of the worst fully evolved starters by a long shot.
Meanwhile, I think Empoleon is a really badass and excellently designed Pokemon.
How? Okay, let me break down for you why Empoleon sucks. First off, it starts out as this adorable, cute little penguin Piplup, and then it immediately turns into the pinnacle of awkward stage, Prinplup.
Okay, I will admit that Prinplup is awkward, but we're not talking about Prinplup here.
Excuse you, I wasn't done. As I was saying, Empoleon overall just looks silly and ridiculous. I don't like it when Pokemon are designed to look like they're wearing clothes, so Empoleon wearing a tuxedo just looks super silly to me. The trident on its face is also really silly looking. It makes it just look like it's getting in its way, and also the large collar makes Empoleon's head look disproportionately small, which also looks ridiculous. It is a water steel type, which is a typing that sounds cool, but Empoleon does not execute it well. And the fact that it's weak to both of the other Sinnoh starters, Torterra with the ground type and Infernape with the fighting type, is just like, come on, man.
Allow me to offer my rebuttal. Emperor Penguin. They took it literally, so it wasn't some random idea. They rolled with it by giving him regal clothing. Plus, they melded it with the idea that penguins are wearing tuxedos. In regards to its trident, it's supposed to be a crown. All Sinnoh starters are based on legends, so Poseidon works with Empoleon. Besides, where do you want the trident to be? In its hands? Trident hands?
Yeah, that sounds badass. Large trident claws is gonna look a lot cooler than the little wimpy ones it has now.
And for your critique of its small head, Empoleon is based on Napoleon, whose head is pretty awkward as well. They even have similar hair, so at least there's a reason for it. Also, come on, Michael. Look at its wings. They're blades. If you think Scyther's cool, then you must think Empoleon's blade flippers are cool as well.
Alright, that I will concede. The big blade wings do look pretty cool. But aside from that, Empoleon still looks ridiculous. Number 4. Probopass. I have always liked most of the Gen 4 new evolutions of old Pokemon, but Probopass is definitely one of the worst of all of them. Now to be fair, I have always thought Nosepass was a bit odd. It's the compass idea is an interesting design concept, but I definitely think they could have done better. But Probopass takes the meh aspects of Nosepass and blows them way out of proportion. Its nose becomes its entire face. What? The metal filings stuck to its nose makes sense, but they really should have done something else, because right now they look like a bulbous mustache that looks like it hasn't trimmed its nose hairs in 3 millennia, and that is gross.
So I do agree with you that Probopass is undoubtedly less cool than Nosepass.
I did not say Nosepass was cool. Neither are cool.
Anyways, its name in Japanese is basically translated into big nose, so I would expect it to have a big nose. Giant even. The biggest nose throughout the land.
I mean, its name might make sense, but an accurate name doesn't make a Pokemon not suck. Besides, I've always disliked Pokemon whose main design focus was just one enlarged body part, like Lickitung.
I can see why you don't like it, but the big nose has a cool origin. It's based on the Easter Island heads, the most restored of which had hats on. And I can't believe I'm defending a Pokemon that looks like Nazi propaganda, but I think the big nose representing a north-facing compass is somewhat clever. I believe the problem here is execution.
Okay, I can agree with that, but any Pokemon that has the ability Sturdy is gonna get on my nerves when battling against it, so always be a little bit salty towards Probopass because of that. Number 3, Execute. Execute is one of the dumbest Pokemon I have ever seen. Making Pokemon based on food is dumb, but I hate Execute a lot more than the other food Pokemon because it was the first one. Also, I am so tired of people trying to tell me that they're seeds, not eggs. They are very obviously 6 pink eggs with faces on them. I don't care about whatever seed evidence you have. Execute is a stupid idea, it is stupid looking, and it is an overall stupid Pokemon.
So you're saying you don't think Execute is cute?
No, I think it's stupid.
Are you insinuating that its name is a lie, Michael?
Yes, all the more reason to hate it.
I know you don't think so, Michael, but Execute are actually seeds that look like eggs. Its name may even be a pun on white eggplants. Plants that look like eggs. The yolk is just the yellow nutrient within the seed. They evolve into trees just like seeds, and anytime the Pokedex refers to them as eggs, it's just colloquial, and in fact it refers to it scientifically as seeds.
I reject your reality and substitute my own.
But its origin gets even more interesting. The Jinmenju tree in Japanese folklore has fruit that appear to be human heads. The faces are always smiling or laughing even as they fall from their branches. So that counts for Executor's origin, and when the heads fall from the tree, they gather together and form the basis for Execute.
Okay, admittedly that's interesting, but they didn't have to make it stupid eggs. Would have been a lot cooler if they had just made them seeds and not randomly made them eggs.
I can acknowledge that. However, I think Executes are cool for having distinct personalities and being the #1 Pokemon to promote teamwork.
Number 2, Watchog. I thoroughly despise this thing. It is very creepy looking with its eyes looking like it's on one hell of a drug. In addition to that, it looks like it's wearing a stupid frickin' vest. And you know how I feel about Pokemon wearing clothes.
At least it makes sense. A lot of animals have stripes, and it's not as far-fetched as other Pokemon designs for a lookout Pokemon to have glowing stripes that resemble a safety vest. Do you hate safety, Michael?
I hate Watchog's safety. But anyways, the main reason I hate Watchog is because it is infuriating to battle against. The combination of Confuse Ray, Hypnosis, Super Fang, and Hyper Fang is not an effective combination, but it's really aggravating because it's probably going to make you not able to attack for several turns. To add insult to injury, you battle a ton of these things in the Unova games, so you regularly have to deal with, oh god, another one of these freaking
I don't think that the fact that you can't easily defeat a Watchog is a valid point. Every Pokemon has a unique battling style, and Watchog's just so happens to be annoying. Why would you complain about a Pokemon's superior battling prowess? If this was the real world, I don't think people would be complaining that it was inconvenient to fight a groundhog or prairie dog or whatever this thing is. People don't go around saying, this meerkat is throwing sand at me. Come on. Now it's calling its friends. That's not nice. All I want to do is capture it, and make it fight for my amusement.
That makes no sense, and you know it, Ron. Why would anyone want to capture a Watchog?
I just think the whole theme of a Watchog makes sense for a Pokemon based on a prairie dog or meerkats, since they're known for being protective and watchful, and... I was gonna say cute, but Watchog isn't really that cute.
At least we can agree on that. Number 1, Miltank.
I know there's nothing I can say to change the mind of anybody with a deep hatred for Miltanks, so take it away, Michael.
I both hate Miltank for its design and because it has offended me personally. First off, it's pink, and I'm not a huge fan of pink Pokemon.
Well, first, I love Strawberry Milk, and while I don't think it was intentional, her color scheme is extremely appetizing. I would definitely buy Strawberry Milk in an instant if it had a Miltank on the packaging. But I do believe that her pinkness was made to emphasize the fact that Miltanks are all female, since Game Freak would have wanted to highlight how genders became a feature in the generation this Pokemon was introduced.
Well, no matter the reason, Miltank's coloring is not the worst part. The worst part about its design is the 4 giant nipples constantly flopping around for the world to see. I get it's based off of a cow and its udders make milk, that's its whole design thing, but they're just flopping around and it looks gross and uncomfortable and just bad.
Well, when making a milk-giving Pokemon, you're gonna have to deal with the fact that there's no way those udders are going to be hidden.
Well, then maybe they should have made them smaller or less pronounced, not just flopping around like crazy. Also, one thing I wanted to point out is that Miltank learns milk drink, meaning that it drinks milk from its own nipples.
Come on, Michael, we all know that you're just frustrated because Whitney's Miltank wrecked your entire team multiple times.
I was getting to that, okay? I have also had several terrible experiences with Miltanks. Whitney's Miltank is the very infamous one. There was one in the Battle Mason that ended my long streak with some Body Slam paralysis hacks, and just several others I've battled throughout my time as a Pokemon trainer that just left a bad taste in my mouth. Unless, of course, I'm eating Miltank, in which case it is delicious. So there we have it. Those are the top 5 Pokemon that I hate that True Green 7 likes. Hopefully this video was a fun way for you to see that not liking the same Pokemon as someone else is completely fine and you can still be friends if you have different opinions on Pokemon. Also, if you have not already, be sure to go check out the video on Ron's channel where we do the opposite. He counts down the top 5 Pokemon that he hates that I actually like.
Let us know in the comments below your thoughts on the video and which Pokemon you agree with me or Michael on. And don't forget to leave a like on this video and subscribe to both of our channels for lots of fun Pokemon content.
Alright, that's all I have for now. So till next time, Pokefans, gotta catch them all!